The Muslim Wholehearted Initiative, we founded it in 2019. It was with myself and a dear friend by the name of Kwesiya Rakib. And honestly, it was birthed out of heartbreak. Really, what MWI was for me was imparting the lessons that I had learned on that journey. I went through a really difficult divorce in 2016. And I think that if I'm being honest, one of the reasons that the divorce was so difficult was that I leaned into my husband far more than I did into Allah. And when I lost that relationship, I felt lost. And I didn't know, I couldn't find my center. And what I learned, or what it forced me to do, was trust Allah, and then looking for the manifestation of who Allah is in my life. Right? Like I would look for Kareem, like I would look for the generosity in this dunya, like finding people that were generous, finding situations where I was given generosity, right? I would look for rahmah in the creation or in nature, but also trying to manifest that in my life and leaning into that for my own healing. And I learned a lot of lessons along the way. And in 2019, we decided to establish the Muslim Wholehearted Initiative based on that, with the premise that if we were able to help just one person in their difficulty, through their trauma, regardless of what it was, by just learning who Allah is and understanding that everything that we go through has a greater purpose, then we've succeeded, alhamdulillah. Being pleasing to Allah, hoping that I'm sincere in the work that I do. But never really being sure, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I'm never sure. I'm always asking, like, dua that I constantly make is for sincerity. Like for Allah to really purify my intentions. And as we get more notoriety, I pray for that even more. Because it's very easy for people to say, wow, look at the work you're doing, but they don't see, the struggle. Or they don't see your shortcomings either. But you do, and you know them. And I try to remind myself of that so that it keeps me focused on the goal and not the notoriety or the praise, for lack of a better word. So first and foremost, seeking sincerity, seeking to do this for the sake of Allah, first and foremost. And then wanting good for my community. Do I find it difficult? I'm gonna say no. I don't find it difficult being a Black Muslim woman in mental health because one, I know my presence is needed, right? But also two, I think other mental health professionals recognize the need, recognize our unique needs. So they appreciate when they meet an African-American Muslim sister who was born and raised in Islam, and the unique perspective that I bring and that my organization brings to the table. So I find that even with other organizations that we work with, because we partner with just about any organization that's really willing to work with us, I find that they really appreciate our perspective, and they value our opinions, and they really learn from us. I see us in our own space, owning our own building, possibly having a few more branches, right, within the city, and expanding. Because this work is not just relegated to the Brooklyn community. Like, we need this in Queens, we need this in Manhattan, we need this all over the country, right? With a highlight, with a focus on African-American Muslim women, Muslim communities, and our mental health. Because as I was mentioning to you before, oftentimes we are an afterthought within the larger Muslim community. And I think that one of the things that my generation has really done well is we're no longer asking you for a seat at the table. We really are creating our own. And if you want to buy in, then you have to you have to come to us. Like, we're no longer going to you. Because I think that's over. Because honestly speaking, the reason why a lot of our foreign brothers and sisters are comfortable here in the States is because of the sacrifices of your parents and of my parents, right? Making the word Islam something that is common language, right? And then because we weren't as savvy with maybe, getting the resources, the financial resources to do the things that they were, Once they got their resources, we were kind of left out and left behind. But we're not waiting for them to include us. We're gonna just establish our own. And they're welcome, right? Because this is Islam, like Islam is what comes first. But our focus is our community, and we don't make any apologies for that. So, how you can help us is by, spending your money with us, supporting us, donating to our organization. Right now, first and foremost, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for how far we've come, but we need the support of our community, and specifically the financial support. We cannot run this without our community support. So you can donate to us by going to wholeheartedmuslim.com, click on the donate button, zell us at muslimwholeheartedinitiative@gmail.com, and then you can cash app us at MWI Heart. Essentially, we just need our community support. And that's what we're looking for. We know that this work is needed. We hear what our community is telling us. Our caseloads are full. We have wait lists for clients that are looking for mental health services. So we know that this is something that's needed in the community. We just need the continued support and the continued financial contributions of our community.